Let's apply for an ITIN number. In this video, we'll learn what an ITIN is and its benefits, documents needed to apply for an ITIN, different ways to file for an ITIN, and tips to expedite the process. An ITIN, or an Individual Taxpayer Identification Number, is a tax processing number the IRS issues to people who cannot get a Social Security number. The ITIN is not valid for employment, but can be used to file your taxes, open a bank account, access credit and loans, and is a start to your financial footing in the United States. An ITIN needs to be renewed if it wasn't included on a U.S. federal tax return at least once during 3 consecutive tax years. For example, if you did not file a federal tax return in 2019, 2020, and 2021, your ITIN expired on December 31st, 2022. Both taxpayers and their dependents may qualify for an ITIN, allowing for individuals to report their income, claim dependents, claim tax credits, and refunds they are eligible for. With an ITIN, taxpayers can claim benefits like the Child Tax Credit, Young Child Tax Credit, CalEITC, Education Credit, Retirement Savings Credit, and other benefits. Individuals with an ITIN are not eligible for the federal EITC. Documents needed for an ITIN. The ITIN application process is completed at the same time as filing a tax return. ITIN applications without a completed tax return cannot be processed. You or your tax professional will complete a W-7 ITIN application, then attach it to a completed tax return. This form can be found at irs.gov. When you apply for an ITIN or renew an ITIN, you will need to include 2 documents, a document proving your identity and a document proving your foreign status. If you visit our website, myfreetaxes.org, you can find a list of documents needed to complete the process. Approved documents include a foreign passport, national identification card, U.S. driver's license, foreign driver's license, U.S. state identification card, foreign voter's registration card, U.S. military identification card, foreign military identification card, visa, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services photo identification, civil birth certificate, medical records, and school records. It's important to note that unless you go through a certified acceptance agent or the IRS, you are required to mail hard copies of these documents. Different ways of filing for an ITIN. As mentioned before, your ITIN application must be submitted with a tax return. There is no option to apply for an ITIN as a standalone document and without a tax return. The ITIN application process does not qualify for electronic filing and has to be mailed or hand-delivered to the IRS. There are a couple ways to apply for an ITIN. Option 1, file for an ITIN with a VITA site. VITA, or Volunteer Income Tax Assistance, is a program that helps people file their taxes for free. There are VITA sites all across the state of California, as well as the United States. You can locate one of our VITA sites by visiting myfreetaxes.org and choosing the in-person option. Another option is to visit the IRS website. The perk of filing for an ITIN with a VITA site is that it's free. Option number 2, drop off at the IRS. Another option is to schedule an appointment at an IRS Taxpayer Assistance Center to submit the documents in person. IRS Taxpayer Assistance Centers are also able to provide the service free of charge if your taxes and W-7 have been completed with another tax preparer. To find a list of Taxpayer Assistance Centers, please visit irs.gov. The IRS Taxpayer Assistance Center will review your personal identifying documents and return them to you immediately. It is not required to mail these personal documents with your tax return. IRS Taxpayer Assistance Centers are by appointment by calling 844-545-5640. Option number 3, mail. Another option is to mail your completed tax return, W-7 ITIN application, and personal identifying documents to the IRS ITIN Center. The address for ITIN processing is Internal Revenue Service, Austin Service Center, ITIN Operation, P.O. Box 149342, Austin, Texas 78714-9342. The processing time for ITINs vary from about 10 to 20 weeks. Tips to expedite the ITIN application process. As mentioned before, mailing your documents will require that you send hard copies of your documents. We know that this is not ideal. To expedite the process, we recommend either going directly through the IRS Taxpayer Assistance Center or a Certified Acceptance Agent, or better known as a CAA. A CAA is like a notary and has to undergo training and certification with the IRS. While some CAAs charge a fee, some VITA sites offer this service for free. You can save money and time by filing with the VITA site that has a certified acceptance agent. This will save you a trip to the IRS and let you hold on to your supporting documents. For more information on applying for an ITIN, visit our website, myfreetaxes.org.